Last time on Polymorph Self, the epic saga of Seyda and her greatsword out in the frozen tundra. Out in the frozen valley, my superior hearing sent Bjorn sneaking off to the north, where he spotted an encampment of evil clerics. At the abandoned camp close by, we discovered the worryingly frozen bodies of some fellow rangers, as well as an explorer from Karutha, who bore instructions to secure the monument we had come to explore. Hjani took some precautions and picked up a key, and before we could make our way back to the big giant head, ponies! Not ponies, the bad ponies, wolves! Wolves! After some fumbling, bowling, and dancing with wolves, Onas managed to turn the tide of battle by exploding the cutest, and therefore the leader of the wolf pack.
Bringing us to the wolves. And so I'm going to roll a d4 with going around the circle from Onas and see who is not next to a wolf now. I rolled a 2. Seyda is not next to a wolf. So we'll start with Onas is a 12 AC. And they, without their bonus, they got a 10. So, or the fire's not around anymore, is it?
They get whatever.
Oh, let me re-roll it then, to be fair. So they do get the bite +3. They roll a 9 +3 is 12. Now, the equal is a hit only counts for the players, not the monsters. So, they have not, they have not bitten you. Bjorn, AC?
AC is 18.
They roll a natural 20, followed by a 6. So it's not a critical hit, but it is a hit. You are bitten for 6 + 1, 7 points of damage.
Good job, dogs.
And Hjani?
17.
12 + 3 is 15. They fail to hit you. Bring us 2. So 3 left, all severely injured. And Onas's turn.
Great. Okay, so there's no dog near me.
No, there is one near you, we decided, right? It just bit you, in fact. No, it didn't bite you.
It didn't bite me, but it did go for me. Yeah.
But yes, that's right.
All right.
And it's heavily wounded. It has only 3 hit points left.
Okay, I guess I'm still standing, so I turn after it charges past me and leap onto its back.
For your touch attack, right?
Grab it round the neck and whisper in its ear, "Darky gone to heaven real soon."
In this case, you have to land your touch attack, though. So its AC...
Okay.
Its AC for touch would be 12.
Doggone.
And what's your base attack bonus?
Okay, my base attack bonus is
2 now, right?
+2, yeah.
So you need to beat 12. 12 equal or over 12.
Okay, so I roll 18.
You athletically leap, catching the wolf off guard, landing on its back, and then you whisper.
I roll over so I'm underneath it, and then I electrocute it.
Okay, roll the damage. You can't fail, but let's get an idea.
Okay, let's see.
For a 3
I
hit
don't want
point.
another blood bath.
Too late for that.
Oh shit! I rolled.
I can see 2 6s.
2 6s. That's 12, 13, 14. 2 and a 1. So that's 15.
It doesn't even have a chance to explode this time. You liquefy it by electric force.
Okay, so it's just all on you.
Who pays the laundry bill?
You are now like drenched in liquefied wolf carcass. Only its bones. Basically, there's a skeleton on top of you, and you're dripping wet.
You know you've ruined your cloak now.
Yeah.
It looks like that wolf's pooch is cooked.
And to think I was disgusted by mud in my soup earlier.
Which brings us to Seyda.
Let's go.
2 wolves left.
Edit out what I just said. It didn't get what it deserved.
Okay. Well, you don't know how many babies it's stolen, right? Wolves, dingoes, anything. Anyway, sorry, Seyda. AC.
There's dingoes as well?
AC 14.
Right,
they all do it. They all steal babies, right?
I rolled a 4 + 7 is 12.
Yeah. Well, since you're not near any of the wolves and not near you, you're unable to catch up to one in the 6-second round. Which brings us to Bjorn.
Shooting at the nearest one.
It only has 4 hit points left too. It's been winged. It already has an arrow sticking out of it.
Shooting at it with my short bow, which I have a +5 attack bonus. It's another 5. That's 10 total.
It's a shot. It's a miss. Hjani.
It's long swording, +8 attack bonus.
AC 14.
6 + 8 is a 14.
You hit. Roll those dice.
It is a 3 + 3, 6 + 4, 10.
10. You chop its neck and kill it. There is
Murder
only
a wolf.
1 wolf left, and it's facing down 4 of you and 6 dead pack members. This rabid wolf is going down fighting. Who will it make its last ditch heroic bite at? Number 4, Hjani. Hjani, your AC is?
17.
It makes a last-ditch heroic jump at you. It runs, it jumps, it's flying towards your neck. You turn, it misses, it lands in the snow. And Hjani, you?
I chop at it. But I get a 4 plus 8. 12.
It's in midair going past you. You swing heroically. You miss. It lands by Bjorn. What does Bjorn do?
I take another shot with my short bow. Plus 5 attack bonus. It's 11 plus 5 is 16.
Okay, it lands. It looks at Hjani, who's missed it, but Bjorn cruelly walks up behind it while it's unawares with a bow. Like, just sort of takes his time, goes like really close, and shoots it in the back of the head and puts it down.
And then we hear a little yelping, and we look over the ridge, and there's a little clutch of puppies who.
What happens is, in the moment that the arrow hits the back of its neck, it makes a weird sound, which, with your now emphatic link to animals, you interpret you interpret as the dog version of, and now I face the void.
Oh, they're goth wolves?
Goth wolves.
Oh, I'm glad we killed them.
That dog
then.
was doing goth poetry. They needed to be put down.
Now, there are 2 things I must tell you immediately. The first one is that 7 wolves is experience points, 300 each, 7 of them. So it's 2,100 points split between you.
Wow.
Let's just do a nearest thing. So
500 each. 525 each.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll round up. So yeah, 550 each.
Yay.
And then I have to tell you the second thing, which is after that fight with howling, growling, barking wolves and action.
Did we do it really quietly?
That
loud
big
wolves.
flaming
You
ball
stop-
that I sent careening around the place to her.
You stop, you breathe, you look around, and then who's going to be the first one to look around that direction? Number 2, Seyda, looking behind you north towards where Bjorn scouted out the camp. You see that emerging from the trees there are a bunch of figures dressed in armor and black uniforms, and they all appear to be sort of like shouting, pointing, making shrugging noises, and generally looking over in your direction and getting themselves together. They're not like running over or near you, but they've seen that someone's there, heard fighting, and they're all emerging from the trees and starting to get their shit together. So that's what's happening like immediately now.
Guys, start burrowing into the ground, right at where we stand.
Cloaks out, duck down.
Hey, cloaks out, bros out.
Tactically, we should go up there.
Giant head. Let's do it.
The giant head is by the break in the tree line where you can see some sort of steps that ascend towards the tower.
Yeah, that's a good
That sounds
place
like
to
fun.
make our stand. Unless there's like a bunch of bears inside the cave that will rip us up from behind. But apart from that,
Well, then we'll just jump out of the way and hope the bears and the priests take care of each other.
Okay.
All right,
What's
we are
interesting is-
hoofing it towards the head.
Now, as you run through the snow and look over your shoulder to your left, you notice that who appears to be running. There seems to be a group of about 8 or 10 people running. It's not everyone that you saw. It seems to be mainly hobgoblins, but there's definitely a couple of black-clad Theophanites in the back. You can't see if it's Agonosphos or not. As you start closing in on this new location, as you pass the monument, what you see it is there's 2 giant plinths that may once have contained statues sticking out of the snow with nothing else around. And behind it is just like a wall of trees and the ridge rising up. And these plinths are empty. Whatever is on them is long gone. And next to one of them is the head of a statue that must have been like huge, like a colossus, basically. Like the head would fill this room that we're sitting in right now. It's not helpful for the listeners. Like
it's a head-sized room that we're
Yeah.
giant head-sized room that we're sitting in.
oh, that clears it up. Yeah, no, it's huge. So the statue itself must have been like way big, and it's sort of clearly been snapped off at the neck. It's got like a broken, shattered neck part underneath, and the features appear to be elven, like a bit off of elven. Not. It's definitely elven and has elven ears on the head, but it's like it looks a bit different to Kikathryn winter elves.
Somebody wasn't a good artist.
Yeah.
Or and it was an ugly elf.
Yeah. Oh, true.
Lots of options. Yeah. So so that's what it looks like as you're closing in, and it's definitely between the plinths and the wall of trees. There's definitely a space and like rock stairs that are carved into the steep sort of mountainside. You know,
They go up past the head.
and they go sort of into the forest and up the hill towards, you assume, the monolith, which is
Oh,
staring
right.
down at you on the top.
Oh, okay.
It's like some sort of like specific stairway that arises to the area where the monolith is. Okay, you arrive, huffing and puffing and panting, as the cold air stings your lungs and you are slogging through snow. At the two plinths, this huge fallen stone head, and in front of you, these sort of narrow, steep stairs carved into the rocky mountainside, which sort of is forested all around. And you look over your shoulders, and you would have about 5 minutes before these people catch you. It's like about 8 hobgoblin sentries and 2 theophanites, but not the high priest.
Can anybody speak to the giant head and ask for help?
Yes.
The giant granite head in the snow. Let's have actions. Onas.
Health potion of light healing. Potion of light healing.
Roll 1d8 and add 1, and discount 1s.
Jeez. Is this a d8?
It is.
Yes. Okay. I roll 6 plus 1.
You get 7 points back after you drink the potion, using it forever.
So I'm now up to 20 hit points.
Seyda, what's your action?
I have a quiet word with my greatsword and get it to actually hit things this time.
Okay, so you prepare for combat. Bjorn?
I'm going to hide in a place where I can ambush people.
Awesome. There's a lot of trees right next to you as that tree line starts, and behind the plinths, behind the fallen head. What's your skill roll?
Oh, plus 8.
Yeah, so you just have to beat a 12.
All right. So I hide. There's a 12 plus 8 is 20.
Okay, you just out of interest, is it the plinths? Is it the head? Is it sort of half buried in the snow, or is it behind the trees?
Gives me a vantage point of everything, right?
They're like about as high. They're like shoulder height stone
Good
square
enough for me. Yeah,
statue plinths with nothing on top.
plinthward bound.
Okay, you hide behind one of the plinths, and you can easily get up on it if you wanted. Hjani.
I'm going to take a look around to see if there's like an entryway or something like that anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, directly behind. Behind you in the tree line. There is a break in it leading up the mountainside, and there's these carved steps that sort of go up the mountain. But apart from that, would you like to search the plinths or the head?
Yeah, I'll search the plinths.
Search the plinths. Okay. So, as this group sort of almost descending on you, Seyda gets a sword out in the eventuality that they catch up with you if you do anything else. Onas drinks his potion.
Yep.
Bjorn hides successfully. You don't know where Bjorn is, but he's ready to ambush people. Are you preparing your melee weapon or your bow?
Bow.
Your bow. Okay. And Hjani, what's your search skill?
Plus 3.
Okay. Please make a check against difficulty 20. So
Oh, no. Okay. 16 plus 3, 19.
19. Searching around the plinths, you don't find any sort of panels, entrances, or other interesting things. Now, there's one more round of actions before they descend on you.
Okay,
Onas.
I look at the head and I search my knowledge to see if I know anything about it.
The facial features of it match those of the elves you saw in your visions living in that visionary ancient city.
Interesting.
Seyda,
I listen.
what's your listen skill?
My listen is, where is it? 5 plus 5.
Okay, DC 12.
That's a 13 plus 5 is 18.
You listen carefully, and from behind you, sort of from what appears to be the direction of up the stairs into the forest, like under a sort of quite tight canopy of trees. Like the stairs rising up looks like it's almost like a green tunnel, of stairs going up the hillside. Like a cold wind blows down it, and you almost feel like you hear whispering on the wind of words that you can't quite make out, and very sort of like you just go, oh.
Oh no, there
That's
might be
weird.
things behind us too.
Windy whispers.
Bjorn, you are so well hidden, and you have an action to steady yourself that, as well as whatever happens in the fight, before that happens, you will get a free shot on one of them.
Wait, so I mean I can shoot into them now as they're approaching?
Before it starts, without them even knowing where it came from. That's right. That's an option open to you. If a fight starts, you'll have a shot, and then we'll roll for initiative and do things.
Oh, okay, all right. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Hjani,
Okay,
you
great.
have one more action.
Well, I guess I'll just ready my bow then.
Okay, well, those of you with bows, they are now drawing their weapons and charging at you without any care or strategy against people who might shoot ranged weapons at them on the way. So, Colin, you get the extra shot from hiding, and then you both... Sorry. So, Bjorn, you get your extra shot from your hiding, and then you and Hjani also get an extra shot as they close in on you, and they're open to be shot at. So you'll get 2 shots before the start of melee, and Hjani will get 1. So let's start with your 2. The 8 hobgoblins are at the front.
There's no clerics?
They're at the rear. There's 2 of them. And now they're really close up. although they are not the high priest, they don't look as sort of... they don't look like the unarmored acolytes you met before. They look like clerics.
Right.
Those are guys who could do the death touch, fear, death, heart touch.
Yeah, but for example, if they were level 1, they'd only get 1d6 of death touch, so they wouldn't be able to kill you. But yes, they would have death touch, yeah.
All right, anyway, I'll take a shot at the nearest hobgoblin to
So
me.
hobgoblins have AC 15 with their studded leather armor.
All right, my attack bonus is +5 with my short bow. That's a 14 +5.
Okay, you shoot one with your short bow.
Yeah. And that is a sneak attack, is it not?
It is. It counts as a sneak attack for you, so you get...
2d6.
Yeah, we'll double the damage for you.
Oh, nice. It's a 4 and a 1. That's 5 damage.
Oh, okay. Okay, you stick it...
Wait, isn't it 2d6 plus whatever?
My 1d6?
What happens is a sneak attack's actually like a melee attack usually, and you just get plus 2d6
Okay.
To the damage, because you're at the level 2 of that ability. And since we're counting it for this, then I guess it's 1d6 for the arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it means that because your strike is completely unseen, you hit a vital area. But to give you everything of that all the time would be like overriding things like precise shot and those feats. So I was just basically giving you double damage. So it was the roll you made. So that was how many points altogether?
5.
5. It was just kind of like a ruling to give you some payoff for your excellent strategy, Bjorn. So you stick one on his way up. He's not dead, but he's stuck. And then you both now get a round of shooting before they're upon you. So roll again, Bjorn.
All right. I'm going to shoot at, I guess, the same hobgoblin.
Okay.
That's a 6 plus 5 is not enough.
Okay, Hjani.
Okay, I'm gonna rapid shot at the two hobgoblins approaching.
Their AC is 15.
All right, I have a +9 normally, so it turns into a +7. So, natural 1.
Okay, and the second roll?
13 + 7, 20.
Okay, your first one just sails so high over their heads it like clears them and disappears into the the snowy ether.
All right,
And the second one?
1d8 + 1, so 8 + 1, 9.
The second one hits a charging hobgoblin right in the face, killing it.
Yes.
And now they close in on you with Seyda and Hjani sort of holding the front, Bjorn hiding, ready to pick people off, and Onas somewhere in the rear of all this, right? So let's start by rolling initiative. I'll roll a group initiative for them, unadjusted. 5 this time.
Mm.
So they get a 5. So now let's roll for initiative, everyone.
I have a 14 + 5, so 19.
19.
I have a 1 + 2. That's
3.
less than 4.
I have a 20 + 7 is 27.
I rolled a 17 plus 4 is 21.
Awesome. So, Seyda, you are so quick off the mark, I will give you 2 attacks.
Ooh. I'm going to whip out my throwing axes.
Oh, what I mean is they've now, reached you.
Oh, they're here now.
Yeah. So, Seyda, their AC is 15.
Okay, well, come on, old trusty greatsword. 7 + 7 is 14.
Okay, your first swing miss. Oh, wait, I said their AC was 15, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Misses.
Okay, let's
He
go
takes
again.
it on his shield.
Trusty greatsword. 17 + 7.
It's a hit.
Yay.
Roll the damage.
2d6. 6 and 5 is 11
And your
+
strength
2
bonus?
is 13.
Okay. Guess what happens? You missed the first one. You turn. Another one is rushing on you, screaming, holding his sword aloft. You swing your 5-foot-long greatsword. It goes through his arm, which is held aloft, sending it flying, into his neck, through the other side of the neck, and decapitates him
Another
too.
decapitation.
All right, everybody listen to the podcast right now. Take a drink.
That's right. And it's been a while, right?
It has been a while.
I just want to say at this point, like near the beginnings of the show, during action scenes, Seyda just could not miss and could not kill. Not kill.
She gets a decapitation. You take a drink. I explode something with a shocking blast, take a drink.
It's every time that
Bjorn.
that you're asked to give a report or talk about something, and you say more than 3 consecutive sentences.
Then you
you have to down the glass. That's right. Yeah.
Basically.
Every time Bjorn tells a joke that's good, you may also take a shot in
So
celebration.
Listeners.
Nobody's ever taken a shot.
It's in fact Bjorn's turn next.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
From your hidden, unseen perspective, you can take a shot anyone you like. One of the 6 remaining hobgoblins or the 2 anti-theophanites.
Yeah, I want to take a shot at the closest cleric.
AC 16, their scale mail and shield.
All right, well, I got my attack bonus of +5 with my short bow.
And you know what? Just hold that thought. We'll keep that number. I was going to say also you're hidden with a surprise attack and sort of technically flanking. I would give you a +2 as well. So what's the grand total?
16. I rolled a 16, +5 is 21.
Okay, an evil human theophanite cleric is urging on his hobgoblin troops, and from out of nowhere that he saw, he's struck by an arrow by surprise.
A sneaky arrow. 4, 5, 11 damage.
Okay, the arrow impales his neck, and he goes down gurgling, and then ceases to move. He is dead.
Yay!
Sneaky. And the other one is sort of like crouching over him and now looking around to see if he can spot a Bjorn. Let's do an opposed check.
Spot a Bjorn.
He has no bonus to spot. And what's your hide skill again?
Really high. I believe it's a +8. It is a +8.
So roll a dice and +8, and that's what he has to beat to see you.
7 + 8 is 15.
So he has to beat 15
Yes.
in order to see where it was that you were hiding. He rolls a natural 20. He totally saw you shoot that bow from
But
behind.
he saw me pulling like a really dumb face.
Yeah, he saw the pleasure on your face as he murdered.
saw me, but he
as you
saw, like,
murdered
the
his
soul
best
of
friend.
me.
Yeah, as you murdered his best friend horrifically. He saw you, so he's going to come he's going to do something on his action because now it's Hjani.
Okay, I'm gonna
Hobgoblins are charging you.
rapid shot them again. Are they?
You're just
are they
standing out in
already
the
on
open
me?
and they're on you. Yeah,
Oh, okay, fine.
but
Fine.
you have point blank shot, so you
Yes.
could get off another shot, single shot before they,
Okay.
if you want.
All right, I'm gonna do another single shot then. It's +9.
Okay.
12 + 9. 21.
Okay, one is so close he's on rushing, but you loose off an arrow, and
1d8 + 1, so it is a 7 + 1, 8.
it also sticks right through his eye, killing him.
Ha!
Another dead hobgoblin.
Ooh.
Yeah, which brings us
Headshot.
in the order to them. So we'll start with hobgoblins, who are over the 2 fighters. So you have 2 each trying to hit you.
Oh.
What's your AC, Hjani?
My AC is 17.
And they're using light mace +2. They've all got maces, these hobgoblins. First one rolls an 8. It's a 10, no chance. Second one rolls a 17 +2 is 19.
Oh, that hits me.
Okay, so one of them misses, but the other one smacks you with his mace for 2 points of damage.
Ouch.
Seyda, what's
Ish.
your AC?
18.
First one rolls a 2, total 4.
Nope.
The second one rolls a natural 20,
Ow.
followed by a 4. So it's a single regular hit for 3 points of damage. Leaving us with one of the hobgoblins is basically limping behind the others with an arrow right through his shoulder. And the last remaining person is an anti-theophanite who has seen you, and he's going to cast Cause Fear at you. He turns round holding the still bleeding, gargling body of his almost dead.
Oh, wait, he stopped to pick
Friend.
up the body of his friend?
No, he's kneeling by it, and he looked around and he saw you. He's cradling the head with the arrow protruding from the neck. And
This
he's
is the
gargling.
other cleric.
At
Yeah,
least he's got a good
okay.
handhold. There's nothing like-
and he looks at you. He sort of holds his arm out in your direction, concentrates, and uses a Cause Fear towards you. Which means you have to save. Oh, that one's fine. You have to. The save will just be DC 13, and it's a willpower save. So what's your will save?
+2.
Okay, so you get +2, and you have to get 13 or above to resist Cause Fear.
Rolled a 10 +2, 12. No.
Okay, so roll 1d6 for me. That's how many rounds you're going to be affected.
That's 5 rounds.
For the next 5 rounds, every time it comes to you, you are petrified. You have 2 options, cower and mumble, or, which would mean you'd be in the same place, and if he decided to come and attack you, you'd just be sitting there while he hit you. The other option is to flee, which is what the other thing that fear inflicts, in which case if you opted to flee, I'll roll a dice to see what direction you flee in. It could be up the stairs, it could be out into the valley, it could be towards the ornithopter. It's up to you. For now, you're cowering.
I'm going to mull this over while you take care of business.
Yeah, because finally is Onas.
Okay, so I was just stuck in a reverie about my dreams because I was examining the head.
Let me be really clear. Just in front of you are the two fighters,
Right.
engaged with two hobgoblins each,
Yep.
and behind them again is a sort of wounded hobgoblin holding
Yep.
a shoulder, and the cleric.
Yeah, so I come out of my reverie, worrying about the cold, and I look over and I can sense that some kind of magic has been cast against my friend Bjorn, who I usually have to help out, and it snaps me out of my reverie, and I send a ball of flame, a fiery flaming sphere, at the jackass who just made my friend pee-pee his pants.
You concentrate, a waist-high flaming sphere appears and starts to scuttle across the snow at the speed of 30 feet around, which is like, it just literally flies.
Right.
You concentrate, it sort of rolls around the line of combat and comes honing in on him, and he's like looking at it, afraid, and he's going to have to try and dodge it. So it's his reflex is only +1, and he is the DC class we said was 16, right? Yeah, thank you.
Right.
So he rolls a 9 + 1 is 10. Not fast enough. He turns, he tries to run, and he's hit from behind by a flaming sphere coming at him at the speed of a galloping pony.
Yeah.
What's the damage?
What's
2d6.
it, 2d6,
He is
so-
literally set on fire. And
This is what
smashed
attracted
into.
you guys over here. Maybe you want to have a good up-close look
He
at
has
it.
7 hit points.
I rolled 2.
Snake eyes.
It hits him, but it stays there. You can just keep moving it after
Oh,
him.
yeah.
So
Let's stay on that
it
guy.
hits him. He goes flying into the snow. It then rolls a little bit past him, and he rolls in the snow and puts himself out and only takes 2
Okay.
points of damage.
Oh, yeah, because it does fire damage as well, doesn't it? Or set people on
That's
fire?
what the damage is.
Okay.
Yeah. So, which brings us in the order back round to Seyda.
Let's go and hit another hobgoblin.
2 are fighting you right now.
That's a 13 + 7 is 20.
It's a hit.
2d6. 4, 5. 4 + 1 is 5, + 2 is 7.
Yep, you slash across the front of this hobgoblin, taking one of his hands off at the wrist and carving his chest
Not
open.
a head.
No.
No.
He basically goes up to hit you, and your greatsword just goes like through his wrist and cuts
take a
across his
hand.
chest, and he just falls slain. Next in the order is Bjorn.
Right, I'm going to flee in my pants.
Okay, I'm going to roll 1d4 for 4 directions. 3. Bjorn turns and hightails it up those stairs.
Okay.
And you actually all don't notice.
Okay.
Bjorn,
Guys, I need to check something upstairs.
your mind is gripped in fear and visions of anti-theophanite clerics death touching you and silver masks laughing maniacally, and you go running up those very steep and narrow stairs up a mountain, much like here in China, because podcast listeners were in Shanghai, and you go to these mountains and they have these stairs carved like right up to the summit and stuff.
Yep.
And they're very slippery usually.
Yeah, they make mountains real easy here. They
Anyway.
put stairs in them.
They did, yeah. It's convenience. So yeah, you're running up those sort of like mountain carved stairs right now, and which brings us in the order to who's next down. Hjani.
I pull out my longsword and slash at the hobgoblin closest to me.
Awesome. AC 15.
All right, it is a +8 attack bonus, and I roll a 13, so that is a 21.
Hit.
So it is a 1d8 + 3 + 1d6 cold damage.
Yeah. What's the total?
1 + 3 is 4 + 6, so 10.
10. You slash across a hobgoblin's front with your sword of frost. The wound doesn't seem bad at first, but he looks down and magical ice like spreads out, going like up his neck and down his arms, and then he sort of freezes a facial expression and keels over,
Ka-ching!
leaving 3 of them plus the cleric, and bring us next in the order to them. So there's 1 each left on Hjani and Seyda. Seyda, your armor class.
My arm class is 18.
He rolls a 6 with his +2 light mace is 8. Fails to
Nope.
hit. No
No,
chance.
he doesn't.
Hjani.
17.
Was a 13 + 2 is 15. They are both tiring, slogging through the snow, seeing their comrades felled so easily, leaving the anti-theophanite. The wounded hobgoblin is just hanging back. Now he's been chased by this
Fire.
fire. So what's he going to do? He is going to use his other spell. He's going to use Cause Fear again. He's going to try and break Onas's concentration by
Bring it
counter-spelling him. The save is 13. What's your willpower?
My willpower is something I've never had to use before. That's
Will
saving
save.
throws. Will
Saving
save.
throws
Yep.
will.
Okay, so there's 6 altogether.
So you get +6, and you have to get 13 or above to save against cause
Okay.
fear.
I get an 11 plus 6 at 17.
Not only does it have no effect on you, it has no effect on the flaming sphere that you're concentrating on that you're
yeah.
about to smack him with a second time.
I am about to.
So basically, you're concentrating on your ball of flame, and he's concentrating on you, and you're just supremely, like, your willpower is just firing on all cylinders.
Oh yeah.
Awesome, bringing us round to Onas. So you counterspell his counterspell by
Counter spelling?
and hitting him with the
Yeah,
the flaming
this
sphere again.
flaming thing's going up to him again.
He tries to dodge. He rolls a natural 1. He trips, and you roll the flaming sphere over the top of him
Okay. He's
as he lies in the snow, screaming in pain. Like as you.
great balls of fire. It's a 7.
So he turns, he trips, he goes spread-eagled in the snow, and he sort of wriggles. He makes a snow angel, and you just roll the flame sphere on top of him and hold it there, and literally cook him. You can all hear sickening screams and the smell of charred flesh as Onas burns him to death.
Is he dead? I was
He's
thinking
dead.
of maybe interrogating him.
No,
after,
he's
but
dead.
Okay.
Yeah, and the wounded hobgoblin is running away actually, and it leaves 2 fighting you guys. So let's start with Hjani.
All right.
Who you're fighting.
Okay. So plus 8.
Yeah.
11 plus 8, 19.
Okay. Stab him.
1d8 plus 3 plus 1d6. So it is a 5 plus 3 is 8 plus 6 is a 14.
You stab him and disembowel him, and there's one sort of healthy one fighting Seyda.
Okay, let's go. 16 plus 7 is...
They were distracted by the
23?
flaming magical sphere burning their leader.
I think that was 23.
You swing a giant greatsword into him.
2d6 of greatsword. 4 and the 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7.
Okay, you slash down his front again, and they're all defeated, and there's one sort of like holding his arrowed shoulder, running away through the snow. You look around, no Bjorn. Now, Bjorn, we're going to play a scene here, okay? Because you've been running up those stairs for a couple of actions, right? By the time you reach the top of these stairs, which is like, because you're way ahead of them and you were just running, and your adrenaline is carrying your legs up them. So within 2 turns, once you're out the combat, like 20 minutes, you're getting pretty close up the top. But by the time you get up there, the fear spell will wear off.
Wait, 20 minutes have elapsed since I started running?
Yeah, your mind is just dazed in fear and panic, and you're just running up the stairs. In fact, when you come out of it, your legs are just like burning and fatigued. And you've just been going off by, even if they've decided to follow you immediately, they're not going to get to you before this happens. So we're just going to play this scene, okay? You reach the top of the stairs, and let me tell you what you see, okay? Oh, you all look around. You can't see Bjorn. Any comments on that while I'm just finding the...
Well, I'm trying to shoot the ogre that's running away.
Oh, you're going to do that? Okay, that's your action. Good. Seyda, what's yours?
I'm going to... I assume he's hiding, so I'll look for him. See if I can spot him.
Bjorn, where are you, Bjorn?
Keep
It's done,
talking.
we're
DM
finished.
is...
I've gone kind of battle crazy, and I walk over to the charred corpse, and my flaming sphere is now dissipating. I just kick the corpse over, flip it over my foot,
You go burn.
and I say, "Yeah."
Well,
I say
before we get to Bjorn, then take that shot.
Okay.
AC 12 was back turned, fleeing away.
So plus 9 on my longbow. 15. I hit him.
You shoot him in the back as he flees.
Yeah.
Quite a good range shot. It was a pretty cool shot.
Yeah, 1d8 plus 1, so 6 plus 1, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
You see him sort of walk, running away, getting smaller, and you sort of aim your bow, take a breath, you let loose an arrow, it sort of goes, thuds into his back, and he just sprawls forward, not moving anymore.
You're welcome.
Bjorn, you emerge at the top of the stairs to a sort of wooded plateau where the tower is sort of perched on. Because behind the tower, it goes up a bit more to those rocky crags we talked about. The base of the monolith, Bjorn, is completely shrouded by a canopy. The treetops knit together, and looking up, they seem to be bound by some kind of vines or strands, strange for a cold climate. You're, for all purposes, in a kind of gloomy cavern with tree trunk pillars, a crunchy earthen floor, and an organic ceiling. One side of this monolith forms a black stone wall to this strange scene. And you watch your steamy breath in the cold and hear your breathing. It's eerily still in here. And at the moment you see this, you immediately can't remember how you got here. But you can see the stairs, so you can kind of guess. But from the fear spell starting until now, you have like almost no memories, and you see this eerily still scene. And just along the side of this huge black wall in this sort of like dark, gloomy, beneath the trees, cold cavern, at the far end of it, because I guess this wall is like facing you, the foot of the tower, there's no doors or anything in it, but all off by one corner, you see what looks to be a sort of short, slight human being in sort of mages or scribes robes, and a sort of like longish hair, and a small like bag and pouch on his thing, sort of standing there, sort of looking at you as if to be like, oh, who's that? Okay, you come to your senses.
Hey!
His hand comes up and waves at you. He's several feet away from you, like down at the back end of this sort of. When I say a cavern, it hasn't got walls. It's like eventually, when you look between the trees, it'll eventually just become too dark to see because the canopy's completely sort of closed. He's sort of waving at you, but he's not moving.
I approach and just want to ask him who he is. What's he doing here?
Okay, now before we talk to him, if you fail this, you'll have to disregard it. But I need to do a spot check.
No problem.
What's your spot skill?
+4.
+4. Okay, DC 15.
It's a 17 +4.
Okay, now just generally, he seems like a sort of human scribe or mage or scholar of the type that you've seen around city halls and.
I know the type.
Yeah, like he reminds you a bit of Onas, except human. Except you see, like in patches of his skin, looks a little bit sort of scaly and weird, and his fingernails are quite unkempt, a bit grown out. And your spot check reveals there's something a bit weird and off about him. He says, "Hello, my name is Gop. What brings you to this area? I'm very surprised to see another person here. What's your name?"
I'll be asking the questions here, I say, as I intimidate him.
Okay. What's your intimidate skill?
My intimidate is +3.
So let me find some stats. Okay. I'm not going to say what his stat is or anything like that. I'll just roll back here. So you roll and give me the number to beat.
All right.
I don't want to reveal things.
It's a 1 +3. That's
okay.
4 total.
Yeah, you roll a natural 1. So what happens is you've just been under the fear spell, you're disoriented, you puff yourself up, you stand up straight, you look him in the eyes, and when you speak, it just comes out as a bunch of high-pitched gibberish, and your voice cracks, basically. Your voice cracks.
You gotta come with me!
Then you go into a coughing fit, and then and you kind of even have to put your hand out to steady yourself as your legs wobble as you're coming back from the spell. And he looks at you in a kindly fashion. Oh, take care of yourself, Mr.
Bjorn.
Bjorn, nice to meet you, Bjorn. My name's Gop. I'd really like to know, though, like, what brought you to this place?
Trying to discover more about this big black monolith.
Oh, yes, the tower. It's impressive, isn't it? Fine.
Gop, do you live here?
No, I find myself here. My work brings me here. Why would you want to find this place? Like, what would you be looking for in a place like this? This interests me as a scholar.
I'm gonna bluff. I bluff.
Okay, so bluff and roll the dice, add your bluff skill, and tell me what number I've got to beat.
19 +8.
Okay, make your ploy.
I heard about this place since I was a child, and I was always told to be afraid of it, but I just came here to discover what it was all about, what people were trying to hide from me.
Interesting. And I know my role, so he may have failed and just buys everything you say, or he may know and choose to show it or not, so... Interesting. But why? That's a big risk to take for that reason, to come all the way out here into the middle of the wilderness in these temperatures. Surely you don't fear death? Did you have companions or help?
Couple, but we're a crack team. They're down the way. I actually don't know how I got here. Is there a way inside this big black monolith?
There are ways, yes. Wait a moment. And at that moment, we're going to skip back down to you guys. Not only is Bjorn not there, you've checked his hiding place, he's not there either. And there's a set of... Onas definitely saw the anti-Theophanist cast a spell on him, and you can see clear footprints in the snow lead right up to the...
And a pee-pee mark?
The steps, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I left a note with my pee-pee.
Yeah, a trail of yellow drops between the footsteps.
Right. I think we know where Bjorn's gone. He's probably got pretty screwed up by that. It's going to scare the shit out of me.
As for now, no more Anti-Theothanites or hobgoblins have appeared at the distant woods at the top end of the valley yet.
We should get up there just in case there's any more of those guys up there and he's out of his head.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I understand how fearful a fear spell can be, though mostly it just filled me with despair, it seems.
Oh, yeah. You got despair.
Yeah, not so much like pants shitting, so
Yeah.
much
Existential horror.
Affects different
Yeah.
people in different ways.
It does. Some people, it makes them reflect and face up to despair. Other people just cry and run.
Some others just makes them cast big fireballs and
Well-
kick ass. Let's get up there. We go up the
Yeah,
stairs.
it's nice that he left such a trail.
It was
Okay.
easy to spot.
So at the point of the conversation we got to, you guys appear at the head, and you see again this. It's like almost like being indoors, like a gloomy cavern made up of the canopy, the lack of light, the fact that it's cold. The ground is sort of a bit crunchy and frosty, and the huge sort of front wall of this tower has no features on it, and it forms a kind of wall amongst this cavern. And you see that Bjorn is a little bit ahead of you towards the wall, talking to someone who looks almost like a human version of Onas.
Hey, look, it's a human version of Onas.
Yeah, that guy's pretty good looking. Let's go and talk to him. He looks like we can finally get some sense out of someone.
Bjorn, are you okay?
Yeah, guys, come on over and meet Gop.
Hello,
Hey,
Hi,
Gop.
Nice to meet you, Gob.
I'm Gop.